Today, I would like to talk about what they call pragmatic shift in terms of what they call the legal revolution. What do we understand by a legal revolution? A revolution in law is not merely a coup d'etat of jurisprudence, for example, but a transcendental metamorphosis of societal fabric. And that was said by Dr. Sophia Dumontov. Now, in life, such legal revolutions have actually served as catalysts for transformation in terms of recalibrating the relationship between the individual and the state, and the rule of law, and the vulnerable justice in terms of the presentation of what the law is. Remember, the law is not a brooding omniscience of the sky, but a dynamic, pulsating force, constantly presenting itself in terms of a changing society. What are some of the pillars of a legal revolution? One would be rethinking jurisprudence, challenging established legal frameworks and even dogma. That is something you must understand. Quost est ostabam non est com, which says what is an absurd is not law. Okay, and then reclaiming human rights, asserting the inviolability of fundamental freedoms, which means lex justa non est lex, which is unjust law is no law, which was said by St. Augustine. And then what we call reforming institutional power, or restructuring the architecture of governance. Solus populi suprema lex. The welfare of the people is a supreme law. That was said by Cicero. And then the argument of reimagining or reimagining justice in terms of evolution of the law in terms of a just society. Just est lest post est uxte, which means the law should be just in terms of its applicability. So the imperativeness in terms of the legal revolution is marked by a burgeoning of socio-economic and environmental crises, and the imperativeness of this legal revolution becomes increasingly eminent or important, as laid and stated by Dr. King. So the true peace is not merely the absence of tension, but the presence of justice, and that is important. So the time for paradigmic shift in terms of this legal landscape has arrived, and it's important for us to begin playing the music in terms of the changes of our society. So the legal revolution basically would involve the law being not static as a code, but dynamic in terms of force, in terms of adaptability, in terms of society, in terms of creating or redresses to those suffocated areas that had been occasioned. And a justice in terms of evolution would actually not merely shift in terms of jurisprudence, but in terms of transformation, in terms of human condition, where freedoms and equality and even aspects of freedom emerge. And the scales of justice are not balanced until the weight of history is actually lifted and the voiceless are actually heard through the vigilant or stewardship of prudent stewards of the law. And legal revolutions should actually occur where true aspects of the law is actually tempered with in terms of the substantive jurisprudence. So the judiciary, for example, should actually be tempest in its terms of change, should be assuring in terms of its applicability, and should guard against any kind of corruption. Not so. And the aspect of the aspect of the radiancy of the equality before the law should not be compromised in any way. Justice is not a fixed star, but a northward compass guiding us towards the horizon of social change and flourishment. So the law is looked at as magnetic flexibility and should bend towards justice, not just as a snap, but as a substantive change, revolutionary change. So as we recalibrate in terms of justice, we need to rediscover the compass in terms of our collective humanity, in terms of jurisprudence, in terms of the journey, in terms of the horizons of equality, in terms of cartographic freedoms, in terms of getting back, confrontation in terms of those things that had been taken away from us because of colonial redresses, and in terms of sonic resonance of justice, in terms of tyranny shatters, in terms of aspects that have to do with the symphony of resiliency. So it's important as you pursue this justice to awaken the slumbering conscience that often is rhythmic within our hidden freedoms. So, in terms of also the architecture of our freedom, we can construct walls of windows of hope that should be open to change. We should also be mindful that we are the future, or we are the spirit of this law that we so much desire to be enjoyed by our greater grandchildren, if you like. And so the dialectics of freedom demand we get back on track in terms of getting what had been stolen away from us, whether by colonial redresses or by opportunistic individuals who do things to the detriment of our self and well-being. And that is what I wanted to share with you today. God bless you, and thank you so much.